Hi guys, so it's me Nicolette, and today I want to talk a little bit about the saying malapa a lekane. Right, so basically loosely translated into English is families are not made equal, and that is so true, guys. Let me tell you a story. So when I was in Rhodes University, now Rhodes University is made up of different types of people. There's obviously the people that come from the local area, so Ekhini, Grahamstown. Some of them are coming from Ekasi, some of them are coming from the Eastern Cape, the Greater Eastern Cape, and then there's the rest of us who are coming from different provinces. And then you also got the Ngakaras that are coming from outside the country. Some of them are ministers' sons, their fathers are MEC, some of them are presidents, some of them are royalty, some of them just have money, okay? So there was quite a big discrepancy in terms of the social classes at Rhodes University. Now, somehow, because my home was Bushbuckridge, right, I found myself not being able to obviously travel easily in and out of the Eastern Cape. So my dad really tried by all means to try and always get us onto a flight so that it makes the travel time a little bit slower for us. So somehow, that little thing that my dad was doing for us kind of gave people this idea that I have money, right? And I don't know where it comes from. And usually these kids that have money, they like to group themselves up and hang around together. Let me tell you the day I found that I do not have money, right? Because when people treat you like you got money, you kind of start to believe you got money, even though you don't have money. Because if I really compared myself to those kids, I had absolutely no money, right? So the one day that I really found out that I had no money, guys, let me tell you. So I used to be a scam artist to my dad. So at Rhodes, there used to be this thing called Jacaranda Labs. I think it happens at other universities. And you used to have a student number, right? And then you would upload printing credit on it. And if you are in the public labs or the school labs, you then punch in your student number. And if you wanted to print out like maybe notes or your essay, you would then use your printing credit. So now, every single freaking Friday, I used to say to my dad, yo, ndinga a printing credit. So my father would like give me like 500 rand so for printing credit. Because parents are so soft when it comes to education. So if you tell him, listen, I need 500 rand, I need to print my essay, I cannot not submit my essay because I can't print it. Obviously, he loosens up and he will send you that money, right? Okay, sharp. So I used to do that quite a lot to my dad. So I would have like excess money, and then I also worked in EQ. It was called EQ in my time, a very long time ago, and it's called Prime now, and O65 next door. So I used to make a little bit of money also, and then sometimes what I used to do is I used to unbook my meals, and then when you unbook your meals, you can go to the student bureau, whatever it was called, and you can literally fill in a form, and they'll pay you out the money that you were supposed to use for your meal. So I used to have a little bit of money, right? Guys, how I found out I really do not have money and that malapa alikani. This girl comes to me where I used to live in new house on the bottom floor, and I emphasize this because she walked down the stairs to my room. She sat down with me. She spun me a story about how her money is still coming, story, and then she said to me, "Can I borrow some money?" I'm like, "Okay, no problem, girl. I got some money. Sitting in my account. How much do you need?" Guys, she said 1,000 rand. My eyes popped. I was like, sorry, wait, hold on. You're borrowing how much? And she said, can I please borrow 1,000 rand? But she said it so casually. And I was like, 1,000 rand? That's all my money. I don't even have 1,000 rand. So if I take my entire amount of money that comes close to 1,000 rand and give it to you, I'm now left with nothing. How are you people borrowing 1,000 rand? We're in university and you're borrowing 1,000 rand. Guys, no. Where's the shame? Why do you not have scam to borrow 1,000 rand? So basically, I couldn't understand how this girl is borrowing 1,000 rand. But fast forward in life, now you start working and everything happens. And you get friends that borrow money from you, some ridiculous amounts. And you just like, what? No. No, I can't. And I find that so weird because really malapa alekan, there are some people that have been grown up in money and they've been exposed to money and they can borrow things like somebody can send you a text and say, I need to borrow 5,000 rand. Why was I bank? Like, why are you not going to the bank? Or why are you coming to me? You know what I mean? And this is not really like your closest friend. This is like an acquaintance. This is like a person that thinks you've got money and they're borrowing 5,000 rand. Go. No, I'm not going to 5,000 rand for you. Because now, this same person is not saying, okay, here's a contract. Let's sign. I'm going to pay you interest. They're just like, can you please borrow me 5,000 rand? And I'm just like, no. So anyway, the point of this video is to just remind you guys that money is not the same for all of us. So you borrowing 1,000 rand from me 10 years ago when I was still in varsity, that for me was a shock. So it's a shock for me again when people borrow like 5,000 rand from me. People who are not my friends, and I'm just like sitting there thinking, no, I don't have 5,000 rand. But there are ways to go around it. If someone does borrow money from you, it's very important that you remember that it is part of you are not, granted, you are not the mashonisa. And it's illegal for you to say to a person that you are borrowing them 5,000 rand and you want it back as 10,000 rand. The country does not allow that, all right? Number one. So please, it's illegal. But make sure that you've got something written down so that when it is time for that person to pay you, they can pay you, because there is nothing annoying or more annoying than going into Cubana and bumping into the person that owes you money and they have not paid you, but they are sipping on Moet or they're sipping on Verve Rich, and you just like, Moto, what's going on now? And now because they don't with their friends, and you can't be like, but and that time you were sipping on a young cider and you're not understanding. Or every single time you log onto their Instagram, they at farmers market, and you just like, how Nchani, you owe me money. And somehow people, and then you know the funny thing is people then have an excuse to say, yeah, I wanted to pay you, but I don't have the 5,000 rand. But obviously 100 rand farmers, compare pharmacy ne 5,000, and I'm just like, why are you not sending me that 100 rand farmers so that we can start minusing? Because from 5,000 rand you can now owe me 4,900. Why are you not sending me that 100 rand? But in case, yeah, so guys, please make sure that you do put down agreements, legally binding agreements, if you're going to be borrowing people money. Thank you. Mwah.